Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Laser Method. Well, it happened. I'm sure you read the title, saw the thumbnail. Even me, as a seasoned vet in 3D printing, I have failed. How y'all doing? Today is Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Today, we're going to get into a little 3D printing today. We're still waiting on the laser engraver to show up, so we're going to revert over to 3D printing until that fully comes in the mail, and it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packages, however many it is. I don't know yet. We'll cover that later, though. Today, we are actually working on getting the shop here tidied up. I work in a 240 square foot office, you could say. It consists of my 4 printers, a work desk that's used for kind of post-processing and shipping, and then of course the laser engraving box here that's taking up quite a bit of space, useful space at that. So kind of get some of the tools up, off the shelves and kind of hung up on the wall or under the table there. So stick with me. We're gonna go through the file here to make these parts that are needed over on the anycubic vyper we're going to make it on today. So we're going to step into Cura here, take a look at this file, make sure everything's good with it, and then once we know that it's good to go, then we will get this printed and stick around. So we're here in Cura going through this file. As you can see here, this is a file that was found on the website Thingiverse. I'll link the website in the show notes down below, actually. But this is here just a mount to take my ryobi 18 volt and mount it to a wall, side of a workbench, a box, whatever I need to mount it to. So we're going to go through, we're going to make sure that this file is ready to print. We are going to print it on the anycubic vyper, and we're going to print it in PLA black. I typically print with just PLA only. So, but just taking a quick look here, my settings are pretty much set the way I want it. The only thing I need to really maybe change is the infill and the infill pattern. I'm not going to change that. We can see it's going to infill at 20% at a gyroid. Gyroid is probably the strongest type of infill you can do on the 3D printing, so we're going to stick with that with 20%. Speeds look good. I'm not going to change anything there. No supports are going to be needed for this, as we can tell, and we're going to slice it from there. And so it is sliced already for a 3-hour and 43-minute print. We're going to take this file and we're going to go ahead and throw it on over into the vyper. Take a peek. All right, so we're sitting here at 98% complete on the first one. I went ahead and decided to print 2 more because I've got 4 tools that I need to hang up. So there is the second one. And the third one right there, it's much further along than the second one. The second one I was actually having an issue with, and I almost did a video on it. I had an issue with the belt was really loose, so it was causing it basically to layer shift, and it would layer shift almost about a whole inch to the left, basically. So I just real quick fixed it real quick. Had to take apart the belt and retension and whatnot. I didn't think about even making a video. It was Christmas Day. I had family here, but I wanted to get it done real quick. So that there's 1, 2, and 3. We actually have a 4th one already printed. We printed a black one, very, very similar color, just a more of a shiny black, a silk black in a way, compared to this flat black that I got here. I ran out of the silk and figured I'll just do the flat black. Now, we also did make battery holders as well. They're actually made of what's called burnt titanium, which kind of looks like a fishing lure in a way. It's a dark blue with a little bit of a sparkle to it. So represents a fishing lure very well. You'll see that when we hang it up in the video. But I just want to give you all an update. We're almost done here with the second completed holder for, it could be the drill, it could be the flashlight, it could be the sawzall, the circular saw. I don't know yet. But one of those 4 items will go on this one along with the other one. Same with this, and the same with that one. Now look at this gunmetal green. I mean, it is beautiful. I love the color of it. I've used almost a full spool. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to order some more. It is not cheap, but I love this finish this finish it's very, very shiny, has a very silky sheen look to it, as you can see here in the video. I printed a few wall mounts for my my guns, so very, very awesome looking color. There's also a gunmetal blue that I'll be printing in here very soon. We'll be seeing some videos of that, so be sure to catch it. But with that, we're going to go on and get ready to hang a couple of these up on the wall, and we'll bring you the finished product once all 4 have completed. So stick around. Oh, as you can see, I'm doing my time-lapse video right here as well. So 2 birds, 1 stone, right? It looks like we have finished up here on one of them. So let's go ahead and pull it off here real quick. All we're going to do is take this, we're going to flex it up a little bit, pop it, and it comes right off. Now, I'm not going to mount this just yet. It's been sitting on this bed at 6 degrees Celsius for the last 6 hours. It's warm. It still has a tendency to warp if I mess with it too much. So I'm going to let it sit for just a few minutes, cool off the bottom. We'll take about 5 minutes or so, and then we will get to hanging it up on top of or on the wall here, and hopefully get some space cleaned up, give us some room on our workbench. As you can see, it's a mess. It's really bad. Don't mind the clock. The clock quit working today. The battery died on it, so I got to put a new battery in that. And yes, that is a custom 3D printed disc rotor brake clock that I do have for sale up on my Etsy store. So be sure to check those out at supremecustomprinting.com to get your hands on one. Awesome little gift for any kind of, I don't know, man cave, garage, workshop, whatever you got. Great aesthetically looking. It comes in multiple colors, whatever you want. Basically, you can pick. It's got the option of white, I think gray right now, but we're going to add more colors to that as we go. See, this workbench is a mess. I got things everywhere, so I need to go through and tidy this up, and you're about to see that. Alright, guys, we'll talk to y'all about something real quick. We had a failed print. Well, the print didn't fail during printing, it failed after printing. You all saw me hang up the circular saw up top, and well, this happened. Yeah. I was standing there at the bench working on editing this video, pre-editing, should I say, and I heard and then I heard a thud. This is it. Circular saw went crashing to the floor. I haven't tested to make sure it still works. I'm sure it does. It made a 5.5, I'm sorry, about a 6.5 foot fall to a foam padded floor. Thank goodness. Hopefully that saved it. So just to let y'all know, failed prints do happen after they print. Sometimes you just don't know that they're going to hold up. So the infill was really weak on this one apparently. This circular saw is pretty heavy. After a further review or research at the files and the Thingiverse, there's actually one for the circular saw, and it's designed just a little bit differently, and it has more infill. So the way the infill works on this print here, I'll break it off here. If you can look inside, see how that's hollow right there? So the infill is actually considered just this little portion here in the design of this thing. So the one that's made for the circular saw is all of this has got infill in it, which would have made it 10 times stronger. So it's a little hollow, made for the more lightweights like the drill or even the little flashlight that comes with it. So we're going to print the recommended print for this. It has 100% infill here, so that way it's stronger. Like I said, failed prints do happen, unfortunately. Thank goodness nothing was broke, no one was hurt. Lesson learned on how this design was. I should have paid closer attention when it was printing on how it was printed, but I just took it that it was going to come out all right. So note to self, note to you all, when 3D printing, take a better look at your prints. You can actually preview them in Cura. Once you slice them, it'll give you a little breakdown of each layer, and you can see where it's hollow and where it's not hollow. It's on me for not paying attention. But back to the content. All right, and we're back. Just want to give you all a brief little tour while we're waiting for these prints to finish. So I mentioned that we were doing laser engraving. I think I mentioned that just once or twice, half a dozen times, maybe a million times. I don't know. But regardless, we're going to be getting into laser engraving. So we custom built a homemade box for the laser engraver. So that way it is sealed off from anybody getting any kind of laser radiation from the wavelengths of the laser itself. So to reduce that, we built this box. It is about 99% completely sealed, airtight, other than what air can come through the wood, because wood is porous. So, but we built this box. I want to give you all a tour of it, describe it, and give a little details on it for you. So be sure to pay attention to how this all went together. And there's a funny story at the end of what happened to me. And I know I laugh about it now. At first it hurt, but stick around real quick. All right, so what you're looking at here is the enclosure for the laser engraver. It has also kind of become a work desk at the same point. So this was actually repurposed or recycled cabinet shelves, not cabinet shelves, but bookshelves that a friend of mine had given me. And so I turned around and used it, and they had some 4x4s laying around. So I took those and made this box. So first off, you can see safety first. Two safety things you can see right here is the fire extinguisher down there, which is, I think, a must-have for anybody who does laser engraving. The risk of fire is just so strong that you cannot go wrong by having a fire extinguisher. Next to that is the fume and smoke extractor here. That is an activated carbon filter in there, also sealed off as best as I can to make sure that it pulls directly from the box and not from outside of the box. And then I'm using a USB powered computer fan, basically is what it is, 120 millimeter fan. Hopefully it draws enough. I've done some tests with it, and it does draw pretty good. But we'll see when it's actually in action working. So we'll go ahead and take a peek on the inside here. I do keep it locked, or at least somewhat latched. I do have grandkids that do run around here. Don't need them, once this thing is finally up and going, fully functional, I don't need them opening this thing up and blinding themselves with laser radiation. So, but I do always plan to keep myself very close to the laser engraver, to always be around to make sure that nothing happens to it. It doesn't catch fire, anything like that. So we'll pull these latches off here real quick and take a quick peek inside. All right, open the top up. All right, so as you can see, there's a plexiglass to see down into this thing. No matter what, I still want to be able to look in here while it's running with my glasses on. But this is a really good bed surface. So if you see what looks like chalk and the T marks there, that is roughly the layout of the laser engraver. That's where basically the build surface is going to be. We're also going to have the air assistant here, along with the rotary roller. I custom printed some containers there for me to put some of the stuff in. Like right now, I got a level in there to level my rotary tool and whatnot. We did try to seal in the crack as best we could with some caulk. I'm about to go through and recalk it and then repaint it again. I went with a flat black to help reduce on the basically refraction of the laser light itself. So that way, either A, it absorbed it, or B, doesn't reflect it near as bad. Of course, we got some GoV lights here, some Wi-Fi lights that do change colors and do funky patterns if I wanted to, but really they were super bright, and I wanted them for the box to light it up really well. Once we get the laser in here and we see how high the head's going to be when it's at full length or full height, I may have to reposition these lights, but that's not a big deal. It's just removing one screw and placing it somewhere else. We did hook up the wires pretty nice. There is an HDMI cable because this thing does have a front screen display. I have relocated it, and I will show you that here in just a moment here. So we've got some holes drilled for wiring. Then we will go through and caulk those and seal them up so that way it makes this as airtight as possible. So there's one down here and one there. And of course, you see the controller here for the lights. So yeah, we get a disco party going on if we want it. Change it. Or we can just go to the solid color. Whatever we want. So going back up to the top here. Oh, as you see, it is held up by two gas struts. I wanted to make sure that the lid stayed up when I need it up. And then I can shut it and it stays shut. So up here, you'll see the HDMI port here, or cable. Right here, this is actually routed down. And then I cut a piece of sheet metal out and recessed it down in there, painted over it, because that display is actually magnetic on the backside. So that's what we wanted to make sure that we got that on the outside here, so we don't have to keep reaching in all the time and opening this lid when we don't need to, just to, you know, push a couple buttons. But really, most of the time, it will be controlled from the computer sitting here on top. So this is where I'll be doing pretty much all of my work from the computer, is right up here. That will be the end of that. So as you can see here, real quick, I got my 10mm koozie. Yes, that is 10mm koozie. No, they are not for sale on the Etsy store. I'm sorry. There is the person who designed it does not want them sold. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate all of you all hanging out with us today. It's been fun making this video. I really do enjoy this. Be sure to check us out on our website, supremecustomprinting.com, where you can find all of our products that are up for sale. We will be updating it here soon with laser engraving, which I'm looking forward to so much. Like, you have no idea how pumped I am for laser engraving. It's a very, very pleasing process from what I can see. The outcome, I think, is even more beneficial and more impressive than 3D printing at times. So I can't wait for that to start up. Hopefully by the end of the week, end of next week, I will have my entire thing ready to go, ready to bring you videos. And actually, if you look right here above my, right here, by my thumb, the hot dog stand. The Hot Dog Stand podcast. If you're a NASCAR fan or a racing fan, a dirt racing fan, a fan of any automotive racing, go check them out on YouTube and also on all your podcast platforms. We are everywhere. And yes, I say we as I am the producer for the podcast. So be sure to check us out, subscribe to us, rate, review that as well. But be sure, make sure you hit down below that subscribe button and that thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, helps YouTube push us out to more people, helps us get more content to more people, helps us be able to produce more content as well. The more that we can get viewers and retain the viewers, the better and the more frequent the content's going to get. Right now, you're going to get tons of content from me. I'm laid off from my full-time job for the next month and a half, almost 2 months. So you'll be getting quite a bit of content from me. But once again, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today here on the Laser Method YouTube channel. I appreciate it. You all have a wonderful Christmas, and I will see you all later.